Me hearties. We're going to tackle treasuries on Etsy. Okay. I think I look more like a gypsy than a pirate, but okay, we'll make it work. Okay, so I'm continuing the series on Etsy teams and promoting on Etsy. You guys saw the followers versus favorites video that I posted last week, and now I'm going to move into treasuries. This is all leading up to showing you what the different teams are and how you can promote your shop through different teams and the games that they play. But as with the followers and favorites, if you don't know what they are, it's kind of pointless, or you may not know which direction you want to go in. Same thing for treasuries. I thought I better talk to you about what treasuries are and the benefits of treasuries, so that when we get to the teams and you see, there's whole teams devoted to treasuries, you'll know what that means and what they are. So let's get started. So what is a treasury? I am going to scooch over so you can see what a treasury is. So here is, I'm clicking on Etsy's main page, and if you scroll down, you'll see right here it says treasury. Okay, clicking that. And here it pops up all the treasuries that have been created, and they are sorted by hotness. So this is like the most popular ones on top, and so forth going down the list. So let's just take a peek at Miss 2015's Best Trends treasury and see what we have got. So what it is a sort of snapshot, or almost like a Pinterest type thing, but just with 16 different items. So you choose 16 different items, not from your shop. This is featuring other people, and you want to have a variety of shops, not duplicates. So this lady, it'll tell you right here, it's curated by Oksana, and she has chosen 16 different items for her treasury. Now hers is obviously from a team, Treasury game number 3, so you can see that she has chosen, there's not a big theme here, I guess just what the hotness is for her, her top things. But so let's go see a different one. So that's one, I want to show you one that's got a theme. So here's spring colors for every day. So this person has chosen 16 items. Veroni has chosen 16 items that feature spring colors. All right, and if you'll notice, she also chose ones, look at all the backgrounds. They're all white, mostly white backgrounds. You try to make them kind of blend together, flow together. Okay, here's what I do. I create folders because it's hard to keep up with everything that you might want to make treasuries out of. So here I've got items that I have favorited. I've clicked on favorites and it brings me to this. And I make folders. So as I'm going through, if I see cool pictures of horses or the West or things that are green, or so that I'm not trying to scrape together a treasury all at one time. So as I see shops, or maybe somebody has put me in a treasury and as a thank you, I'll go check out their shop. I'll see something in their shop that might fit into one of my categories. So, reptilian, just cool, Texas, romantic, blue, France, you get the idea. So I've created folders, and now you have to have 16 items to create a treasury. And you can see, so I can see right here, okay, well, I don't have enough in my books category to create a treasury out of that. Trees, I only have 10 items in there. So I would need 6 more items in my trees folder to make a treasury. I hope I'm going in the right order and this is making sense. I feel like I've skipped something. So that's what I do. So as I'm going through looking at other people's shops, I'll add items here and there to my folder. So when I'm ready to make a treasury, I've got some things to pull from already. Now, there are different, you can just make a treasury. Let me just go and show you. So the next thing to know about creating a treasury is that you can create a treasury straight in Etsy, or there are different applications that you can use to make it a lot easier. And I wish I had known a million years ago about the applications. So you can go to Treasury, and again, that'll pull up all the hot treasuries here. And you can see here, I can create a list, your treasury lists, or lists featuring you. So let's say I click create a list. So here it is ready for my treasury. It's blank and ready to go. Now, one option I have is that I can open up every single little page and go through and plop in the URL for the treasury items that I want. But I am using an application on my computer called Treasury Box. And this one only works in Chrome. So if you don't have Chrome, there's another one that people like called Shmetsy, S-H-M-E-T-S-Y. And that's another one that people really like. I'll write that down in the notes at the bottom. So anyway, I use Treasury Box. And the reason I like Treasury Box is that it basically does a lot of things for me. Like if you see this right here, lists featuring me, that's something that Treasury Box plugs into Esty. So I can click it and it will pull up all of the treasuries that I'm in. Now there's another way to do that. I can show you real quick. So let's say I want to go back to Treasuries. Yes, that's what I said. Don't mess with me. If you go in here for a search for Treasury, you can just type in your shop name. Texas, no space, Gal Treasures, and then it'll automatically pull up, all the treasuries that you've been in. Oh, look, 382. We'll come back to that later. So anyway, creating a list. Now, I'm not going to go through and do it this way. I'm going to show you my app that I like to use. But first, let me make sure that I'm not skipping anything. Okay. Before we make a treasury, there's a few other things that I want to show you. Let me get back to treasuries. Okay, so why is it so important to be featured in a treasury or to feature someone else in a treasury? The reason you want to be featured in a treasury, is that the person who creates your treasury, I'm going to go back to this #1 top hot treasury, the person who creates your treasury, creates the treasury featuring you, I should say. The person that creates the treasury in which your shop is featured will show up in that person's followers' feeds. So let's take a look at Oksana. She has created this treasury, and if you watch the favorites versus followers video, you would see that when Oksana creates a treasury, all of the people that follow her see the treasury in their feed. So when they pull up their feed on Etsy and it shows all the new things and the things that Oksana likes, that's going to show up there. And your item is going to show up there. Now let's take a look at how many people follow Miss Oksana. So you would see how many people would see your item. So she's got 2,465 followers. So when she creates a treasury, that's a lot of eyeballs on these products, and that's a lot of exposure, right? Right. So also, if you'll take a look over here, you'll see how many people have viewed it, 3,188 views. So that's how many people just have laid eyes on it. Now, that's more than the followers she has. But if you think about it, all the people that she has featured in her treasury have probably come along, plus some, and clicked heart. So over here, normally there's like a little, oh, here it is, favorite. So I can click favorite it. So then all the people that are following me would see this treasury in their feed. And so right here, you can click and see 23 admirers. Now think of this. Every person that clicks heart on this, all of the people following them also see that treasury and also see your item in their feed. So let's take a look at how many more eyes are going to be on your item. So here I have 401 Trump chains next to Miss Oksana, but that's 401 people that are going to see that treasury that she created. Here, 21 more people, 719 more people, 90, 21. So all of these followers, wow, 6,000. All of the people following all of these people that have clicked favorite on this treasury are also being exposed to the stores and the items that were featured in that treasury. So that's a lot of eyes on your items, right? Yes. All right, so why would I want to create a treasury for a bunch of other people that I don't even know? Or maybe I do, but it's not going to help my shop, right? Wrong. Because a lot of people that create treasuries, if you use one of their items in a treasury, they reciprocate and they come back and they feature your items in a treasury. Plus, if you go back later and you join a team, then those teams often pull from their teammates to create treasuries. You know, they keep it in the family, if you know what I mean. Or if you play a game, you know, feature me, I feature you. Or, you know, even on some of the Facebook groups, there's they'll start a thread saying, hey, we want to make a treasury, you know, put all your butterflies up, you know, and I'm going to create a treasury with your butterflies. So, yeah, I mean, it's just an extra exposure, and you can make it, I mean, some people are really into it, and I do it, I mean, I do it some, but not as much as I used to. When I was solely on Etsy, I did a little bit more of it, but I still go through and try to create treasuries, you know, kind of reciprocating to people that have created treasuries for me. Let me see. Okay, so how do you know if you've been featured in a treasury? Well, one way is sometimes people will send you a conversation. Now, this is another reason that I like Treasury Box, because it automatically sends out the messages to the people I've created a treasury for. So here I've gotten a message from Liddy, and it says, you have been treasured. So let's click on that. That was just 39 minutes ago. You have been treasured. Like, comment, share, enjoy. And so here's the treasury, and click on that. Now, they don't always, but I'll show you another way to find out. So here, her treasury is called Baroque Days. And, oh, this item just sold too. So when your item sells, poof, it's gone. You know, it used to just say sold, but literally, I just sold the item. And then like 2 seconds later, I got the comment from her saying, you know, oh, you have been featured in my treasury. Anyway, that'll show up in my sales video. You'll see that one. All right, let's take a look at a different one. Just to, let's see. Here you go. There's another treasury I was featured in. Here she says, no need to reply. Because sometimes people will send back like, oh, thank you so much. And no, I don't do that for all of mine either. But every now and then I will. So here's this treasury. And look, I haven't even checked it out yet because I haven't favorited it. It is best to go through and favorite it because that's getting more exposure. So here's my item. And so what you'll do is you'll come through and favorite it. And you can see she's already gotten 36 views, 6 admirers. So let's click on that so we can see. You know, so all of these followers are getting to see this treasury in their feed. And then also, I'll come down and I will leave a comment, you know, saying something like, thank you so much for featuring my necklace. And I add my comment. Because sometimes people wanting to make treasuries will come through because they really, the more popular their treasury is, the higher up it is in the Etsy treasury log or whatever. But I mean, that goes by clicks, by comments. So sometimes people will go through and see, well, who's leaving comments? Because I want to make a treasury out of people who actually come back and leave comments, because that will make my treasury more popular. I know, there's so many ins and outs on it. So yeah, that is that. Now I feel like I am forgetting something else again. Okay, so now that I have come through and I've favorited this treasury, I've left my comment, what I like to do, sort of like an etiquette type of thing, I'll come through and check out Stacey Graves' shop just real quick. And I showed you my folders earlier, so here's what I'll do. I'll say, oh look, here's her shop. Cute, cute, cute. She makes wreaths. So now I'm going to put one of her items in one of my folders. So you can see over here This will drop it into the treasure box. This is just, I'm favoriting it so that my followers will see that I favorited that item. Or this little drop down has all my lists, my folders I showed you earlier. Now this is a pink wreath, so I'm going to drop it into my romantic folder, because pink, floral, romantic. So when I'm ready to make a treasury, her item will be ready. It's in there, you know, so I can come back later and spread the love. Oh, okay. So I told you that you can find out if you've been in a treasury by checking conversations people might have sent you. I showed you earlier going to the treasury list to find out if you've been in a treasury. This is if you want to go through and see who's featured you so you can reciprocate if you choose. So that's another way. And then another way to find out is to go to your dashboard. And this is a cool feature because then you can see, you'll see an upswing in favorites of things that, oh look, I just got a sale. I didn't hear a cha-ching. Anyway, so yeah, this is the item that she just treasured 44 minutes ago, and it sold that fast. I'm just saying. Okay, so here we go. Here's the sand dollar that you saw. So if you'll start noticing, like, man, a lot of people sure favorited that sand dollar necklace recently. Man, a lot. And then oh, it was in this treasury, you know. So as soon as it's in a treasury, you'll notice a little upswing in the favorites of that item. Let's go down and see, like, when I see it, especially 2 in a row, I think, somebody must have put that in a treasury. Oh, there it is. So somebody put that in a treasury. And then I've got a few extra favorites on that item. I think you get the idea.